And we are live. Finally, after 4 weeks, we are live. Thank you, Rajiv ji, for doing this. For those of you who are very new to our channel, we do this. We are gonna try to do this every Saturday, and timings are 6:30. And Rajiv ji is U.S. immigration lawyer, and he will answer any questions you have about your life or immigration. No, just kidding. About immigration. Right. But anyway, Rajiv ji, let's start with H1B lottery updates. Like, I know that USCIS announced that the results are out and people are getting it, and I'm sure there's like a lot of recurring questions on lottery. Like, okay, I got lottery, now can I switch my job and etc. So, what is new going on in the immigration world?
So, a few things. The questions that I got asked the most yesterday were first of all, um, are masters and bachelors both coming in? And the answer was yes.
Hmm.
Lottery winning for both masters and bachelors were coming in. Are they done yet? As of yesterday, no. What was the percentage of people in our office for the lottery? Very poor percentage, about 10%. So the question is this the end or is this going to go on into the next week? And
Hmm.
because the system that USCIS has implemented appears to be quite glitchy, I will not be
Hmm.
surprised if this goes on into the coming week. Okay. How long into the coming week? 1 day, 2 days, 3 days, or is it going to be over this weekend? I can't really comment about that. And I'm not going to call anybody at this time on weekend in our office to check on how lotteries are coming along. It's just not
Hmm.
nice. Let people have a
Yeah.
weekend.
Yeah.
So those were the next set of questions that were asked. As far as leaving the employer is concerned, you know that you cannot transfer your lottery. So if
Yeah.
IBM uh, won the lottery for you, you can't take it to Microsoft and say, "Well, I have the lottery," and because the lottery belongs to IBM, not to you. Okay.
Hmm.
So can you do it without joining the employer? If you had asked me this question last year, I would have said, yeah. But around the middle of last year, there was a very, I find it to be very odd ruling by the USCIS that puts into doubt how soon you can leave the employer, whether you have to join the employer. I have an article written up on it. I just have to finalize it. So I'll post it in my on my Economic Times page. Um, those were the main questions raised. Trying to
So
remember.
I think the big one which I got was like, I got the lottery with company A. Can I, before October 1st, can I move to company B?
Yeah,
And the
that's where
answer
things
is
get got murky. As of last year, I'm not so sure the answer is that clear. Okay.
hmm.
It
Hmm.
used to be a very clear answer, but the Administrative Appeals Office made a ruling that just is weird to me. Let's see how that
Hmm.
plays out a little bit further along in this year, but don't take a chance.
Yeah, yeah. But and on October 1st they can switch,
I
or
would say
is it
join the employer and then switch.
join the employer
Get
and
a
then
pay
switch? Okay.
stub, you get a couple of pay stubs, and then you can leave.
Couple of pay stuff. Okay,
Yeah,
got
I
it.
don't mean just pay stubs, but actually work and get a
Right.
couple
Yeah,
of
yeah.
pay periods.
Right, right, right. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that's
Um,
another question
yeah.
that I get asked a lot, by the way. That reminds me, yeah, in the community conference call, um,
Mm,
it, we do well. Do we do one on LinkedIn, one on our private bridge? On our private bridge, every Thursday we have a call, right? So on our private bridge, somebody said, "Well, my employer has generated 3 pay stubs." I said, "Wait, back up. When you said generated 3 pay stubs, did they actually pay you?"
mm,
No. I said, "Well, that's fraud. Okay,
yeah,
that's fraud
yeah.
upon the U.S. government. Get away from that as quickly as possible. You do that,
Right.
you use those kind of pay stubs, you are potentially, first of all, you are committing a crime, and two, you are going to be barred from entering the US forever. Okay, so no pay stubs.
Yeah.
This is not, तो हिंदी में बोलते हैं ना, हाथी के दांत खाने के और दिखाने के। You have to actually practice what you are preaching.
Yes, yes. Yeah, I think there were few more. Hopefully, I told them that we're gonna be starting this Saturday, so they must be here. So hopefully, we'll get them. Let's get started. All right, here's the first one. I'm on H4 visa and going to college. Should I switch to F1 or stay till age 21?
Manan, there are advantages to switching to F1 early. So it's up to you. It's your call. It's not required that you switch right away, but there are advantages. Like you could get summer internships and stuff during school. So I think there are some advantages. Talk to your DSO.
Hmm. Okay. All right. Can I transfer H1B in any case if I have a new job offer before stamping?
So when you say before stamping, first of all, are you outside USA or inside USA? If you are inside USA and you've got a change of status and you started working for the employer, you don't need a visa stamp to change employers.
Hmm. Okay. I need to be in USA while H1B filing is done, right?
Well,
No.
uh, that depends whether you're doing consular processing or change of status. If you're doing a change of status, you have to be in the United States. Then things get a little murkier, a little more complicated. Are you traveling before October 1st, after October 1st? Talk to your lawyers. There are some variations in the central theme.
Hmm. So in this case, I know because he has asked me before. He is on F1 OPT and visited India, but like wants to. But his company, which he's working on, wants to file H1B. So is that okay
Unless
if
he,
he's not in it?
unless he wants to do consular processing, he should be back when they file.
He should. Okay, got it. And then can I transfer H1B before stamping if I get laid off?
Well, again, if you got change of status and it is past October 1st and you have worked one or two pay cycles, you should be all right.
Right.
Anything
Okay.
less than that, what the government says and what the government does can be two mutually different things.
Hmm.
Because they
Hmm.
will say, yeah, you can't do it, and then they'll go ahead and approve my cases. So it's very difficult to say what was, you know.
Right. Okay. Will there be problem for future immigrants like the September 2024, like fall 2024 intake? It's
I'm
hard to
not sure.
predict.
Do you understand
Like
the
he's just
question?
asking. He's asking. I'm coming in fall 2024. Will there be problems for immigrants in general? Like
Oh, because of Trump? I don't think so.
most likely, is like he's not. I'm assuming reading between the lines,
Yeah,
but
I
yeah.
don't.
All right. Cool. 110,000 salary, University of Auckland, 3 research paper, 10 review articles,
Okay,
chances of
so
EB1A. Hmm.
let me give you a quick rundown. First of all, on the current state of affairs.
Hmm.
NIWs, national interest waivers, O1As, O1Bs, EB1A, EB1Bs. Lot of inconsistency. If you look at the chatter amongst immigration lawyers, everybody is complaining government has become so inconsistent. I have the best of cases. They've sent me an RFE. Let me give you
Hmm.
another example. An O1A, which is very similar to EB1A, that we just won last week. My response to the RFE was 385 pages. Okay.
Wow.
So you
Okay.
can imagine my
Hmm.
response to the RFE was first there was the initial filing, which would be another 200-300 pages. Then the response to the RFE was almost 400 pages. We did win. I knew we were going to win the case when by the
Hmm.
time we prepared. Our client worked very hard. We worked very hard. Uh, we won the case. But remember, EB1As, O1As, these are cases where you're trying to prove I am amongst the top elite in my field nationally, top
Hmm.
10%. You have a few publications, that's not a good indicator. You
Hmm.
have won a couple of scholarships, that too is not a good indicator. There are so many things that go into O1A, and ultimately it is a crapshoot. It is a toss of a coin. There is nobody
Yeah.
who can assure you. So we also won a bunch of national interest waivers and EB1As last week itself. And two of them, the reason I won them, they were both in the technology area. Uh, well, no, actually, one was a business guy. He was a deal maker. The reason I won those cases, I think, is in one of them, the salary was very high.
Hmm.
And in the second one, This guy had been an invited speaker at so many conferences. It
Mm.
appeared that he was very well respected. So, there are some indications. If you're a young scientist, you're going to take a chance. You might still win. I mean, we win these cases all the time. But
Yeah.
I can't give you any assurance that you're going to be able to win. Okay.
Mm.
These cases are always difficult to predict. You want me to take a look at your resume? You can send it to me. I'll take a look at my email is help@immigration.com. Hey guys, don't just randomly start sending me resume. You know, make sure
Right.
that you feel that you qualify so that
Yeah.
I don't waste your time and you don't waste mine.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. All right. I got my I-20 and Dakota State University. My 1 year tuition fee is 12K, and my mom bank is having $108,000 or 90 lakhs. Is it enough finances for my F1 visa?
Your DSO will tell you.
Hmm.
They won't issue an I-20 unless they think there's enough money.
So if she has gotten an I-20, that
Chances
sounds
are
like
you're okay. Well,
yeah,
the consulate can still question, but they normally don't.
right. Okay. Unpaid internship or volunteer during first two semester on F1 visa, is it legal?
Depends upon the school policies. USCIS doesn't forbid it. School policies may not allow it. Again, check
Okay.
with your TSO.
Hmm. Okay. Okay. Which one is better? Change of status from F2 to F1 in USA or direct visa stamping in India in terms of approval?
Depends upon the case, but normally change of status is easier.
Okay. Can I transfer my H1B to another company while I am outside of USA, currently in India?
If you're already on H1, sure. If you are not, and this is the first time H1, you need to talk to a lawyer.
Hmm. Okay. Age funny cat. Age 4 people can work without my husband's I-140 approval. Nope.
They can. There is a small exception if your husband has received a seventh year H1B or eighth year H1B extension for some other reason. Normally it is I-140.
Hmm. Okay. I'm on F1 visa pursuing my master's. I got SSN. Can I invest in US stock market?
Don't day trade, but investing is okay.
Yeah. Thanks a lot. Just to redefine my question, can I transfer H1B lottery to a new
No,
employer if I get laid off?
no.
Yeah. All right. I don't have a surname in my legal documents in India, only my first name. Does this pose any problem with my visa and college acceptance?
No, Devanshi ji, this happens all the time. They'll put down LNU, last name unknown.
Um, if I'm not wrong, Devanshi, I think you were in one of the meetups in India, and I told
अच्छा,
her
लड़कियों
that.
को बड़ा पहचानते हो सर आप?
अरे, no, Ronak was the other guy who I asked this question to. But I remember she was very concerned that this, and I said,
नहीं,
like,
नहीं,
let's
Devanshi,
just
that's not a big deal.
confirm with you.
I'll
So,
tell
yeah.
you something interesting. I'd never had a middle name. So my name is Rajiv Khanna.
Hmm.
But then when filling out my paperwork for Canadian student visa, it was such a complication not to have a middle initial. I made up my dad's first name as my middle initial.
Hmm.
So Rajiv Santosh Khanna.
Yeah.
I
Same.
just I just took that name right there. No formal proceeding, nothing. So it's not the end of the world.
Oh,
कोई
okay.
बड़ी बात नहीं, you'll be all right.
All right. Forgot to mention my courses, Bachelor's of Science in Digital Art and Animation. And okay.
Same
Yeah.
answer, Muzan. ये मुजान क्या होता है?
No idea. Okay, I've applied for masters for fall 2024. I've admits as well, but my company applied for H1B for me because they want to retain me. In case I don't get H1B, will this affect?
It
Yeah.
shouldn't. It shouldn't.
All right. Uh, I did multiple registration last year, picked in 4 companies, but I did proceed with petitioning this year. I applied only through one company, so am I safe? Will the last year?
Now, I think you are reasonably safe because it's just a matter of numbers, Rohitji. How many people are they going to go after? I mean, there were, what, 500,000 people with the same issue? More than that, maybe? And if you combine all the years before that, it's probably millions. So
Hmm.
I wouldn't, no, I think you'll be okay.
Hmm. All right. What is the current wait time for EB5 for Indian? First of all, Miss M, you are our best friend, but
I know.
uh,
Yeah. Oh, money. We like money. No,
yeah.
it's such a difficult question to answer
Hmm.
because first of all, did you file through expedited? Did you file through normal? And then how long did your 526 take? How long is your 824 going to take? There are too many variables. 4, 5, 6 years is known.
Hmm. Hmm. Okay. I came to India on H1B and I got laid off from my client, but I am still with my employer. But he is prioritizing the US employees for getting a new project. My options to come back to the USA.
Start looking for another job, get an H1B transfer.
Hmm. So okay, he can't come because he doesn't have a
Oh, he came
active
to,
project.
he was here, so he went to India.
Yeah,
That's what happened.
right. He went to India. He got laid off from the project he had, but he's still with the employer, which means he
Well,
still
but
have
he's
a
not getting
job.
paid, right? So he doesn't have a job. So
Mm,
normally you can't come back when you have a situation. Normally, you can't come back when you have a
mm,
situation like
okay, interesting. All right. Does applying for H1B lottery through a consultancy instead of my current employer cause any issues during my F1 visa interview? Considering I've applied for H1B lottery before.
that. I don't think so, Akshayji. Nice shades, man.
Do you know? So there was this news I was reading about some company called Apex IT
But they
got
become
like
very famous.
right. So
There are others too. They are not the only ones. There are 3, 4 others too.
right, they were in Delaware and they charged $200 to the students to stop their OPT and
जितना मिल जाए किसी से 2, किसी से 5, जितना मिल जाए.
हाँ, तो अगर वैसे वाले हैं तो that could be an issue, right?
That's a lifelong issue. I have done so many consultations in the last couple of weeks. People were on CPT, went and came back, and Customs and Border Protection said, well, you were involved with Apex. Get out. You can't come back.
Hmm,
Even though they put
hmm.
a 5-year bar, it's potentially a permanent bar from coming back to the US. So I
Yeah.
told these students, I
Hey,
said,
can
start.
you like for people who are new and there are a lot of new students who are watching, can you
Acha.
like explain
So
like what
let
happened?
me let me explain the story. All right.
Huh.
So let's say you got your OPT approval, first year OPT approval, right?
Hmm.
And you're allowed to be without a job for 90 days.
Hmm.
You got real nervous toward the 70th, 80th day, and this shady company said, look, we'll give you a letter that you're employed with us. You give us $200. That's fraud. Okay.
Yeah.
Sometimes they made it very artful. They would say, well, we'll train you, we'll give you training. And
Right.
technically, training is a part of doing a job, right?
Yeah.
So if I were in your situation, I would rather go back to school and even be on CPT and forget about the OPT rather than doing any of these shenanigans. So, no shenanigans. Now, if you've done the shenanigan, whether it is first year OPT or STEM OPT, now you have a big problem. So, please talk to a
Hmm.
lawyer. Come here if you have a specific case, or come to one of our conference calls. Um, I've been doing conference calls for now almost 30 years.
Hmm.
We can give you a minute or two during the calls because typically there's a lot of people. At least
Yeah.
give you some guidance. But please be careful with these situations. It's better to jettison the whole OPT rather than get involved with these shady companies.
Yeah, yeah,
Really
yeah.
make
I
it clean.
remember with one of the subscribers, they were telling me what happened with them is yeah, like they took like they paid $200, stopped their OPT clock. Then they were still looking for another job. They got another job, did this whole 1 year of OPT, and then when the H1B happened, they did not get selected RFE, and they were in India, couldn't come back on
Yeah.
the book like yeah CBP. They just stopped him and let him
Yeah.
like he had to go back.
And
And
do you
that's
know,
when I was like, oh, yeah.
Judy, this is a lifelong issue. You could
Mm.
get an H1B, maybe they didn't notice it. You could get a green card, maybe they didn't notice. You apply for citizenship, they come back and take away your green card also.
Oh, wow. Okay.
This is a
Interesting.
lifelong issue.
Mm.
So
Mm.
one of my very senior colleagues, lawyer colleagues, asked me, if I could give her two examples where we were successful in cases like this. And I gave her two examples. In both
Mm.
those examples, we were able to save our clients because of certain very specific reasons. So please consult with lawyers early if you have gotten into trouble or if you are still looking for a job. Please talk to a lawyer. Um, don't take these legal steps without consulting somebody who knows better than you do.
Yeah. Yep. All right. Sorry for that digression. I'm on F1 visa, got lottery picked up. My wife is on currently on F2, planning to pursue full-time study. Does she need to transfer to F1 or with H4 she can do the full-time study?
She doesn't need to transfer, but I think there are advantages in being on F1.
Yeah. You are looking
One second.
younger. Oh.
भौतिक, how are you? अच्छा, एक बात और, it's not a permanent thing. You can go from F1 to H4, H4 to F1 as many times as you like. So don't think you're
Mm,
going to a gate by going to F1. It's not a big deal.
mm,
भौतिक के पास
mm.
चलो.
Yeah, yeah, he's
He
saying
was
you're
asking me, he says to me, Bhatik knew that you were back. So Bhatik asked me on my LinkedIn, he says, Rajiv, are you doing the call this Saturday last time? मैंने कहा, यार,
yeah.
India. He says, UD is back.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I was sick, like I told you, right? Like half of the plane was sick, and I was sick, so that's why I was like, I don't.
But
My
what I
voice.
found funny was he kept track of you. I had no idea.
Right. Yeah, that is funny.
What is the secret? Never do
Yeah.
something you don't want to do. I I don't work with clients I don't like. I don't work with companies I don't like. And what that does is everybody I work with, I have a great time with them. And that doesn't
Mm,
mean we don't work hard. It just simply means we work with our heart rather than just with our pockets.
mm. That is awesome philosophy. I wanna do that.
When I had nothing, that's how I was. Now I have more than nothing. I still am like that. So
Nice. Do I need to file for OPT extension if I get selected for
oh
H1B
yeah,
in the first attempt this year?
oh yeah. What is the
This is
guarantee?
also very, very common
What is the
question.
guarantee you'll win the H1B?
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Because I think people think that getting selected in lottery is the final step, but getting approval is the final step.
There was a ruling from a Texas court yesterday where um, an H1B for a software developer was litigated and lost. Okay.
Mm,
Now
okay.
the reason was not so much. I could have looked at that case and told them, don't even try, man. This is no case.
Mm,
But obviously, these people were very misguided. They spent thousands of dollars in litigating before that. So the case was simple. The guy had a
mm,
3-year degree from India, and the degree evaluation was really, really bad.
mm,
So the Texas court said, no, you're not going to win this case. So there's no guarantee you'll win an H1B. Most experienced lawyers, and there's plenty of us out there, I'm not the only one, most
mm,
experienced lawyers can take a look at the case and tell you this is going to be a problem.
mm, mm.
So,
Yeah.
don't take things for granted. Create as many safety nets as you can.
Yes. Yes. Okay, I am graduating in May 2024, waiting for my EAD card. I had an offer from employer A and they applied for H1B. And yesterday I got picked up in the H1B lottery. Congratulations. And now I got offer from employer B today. What's the next
Many of these
question?
people, I actually want to ask them, बता रहे हो कि जला रहे हो यार?
Right.
Honest enough.
Is there a way I can retain my H1B lottery from employer A and join employer B? I think that's the question.
Very
Mm.
complicated. I would say, yeah, if you can wait till October, get a few pay stubs, and then join, yeah, sure. Because
Mm.
you're not married to the employer; you're merely engaged.
Right. Right. Yes, I think we did meet in Bangalore.
हाँ, देवांशी, आपको याद रखना है, इसने बाकियों को भूल गया.
नहीं, नहीं,
I have to
that's
talk.
not true.
I have to talk to Caitlin.
I
I need
remember how worried she was. That
send me
was.
send me Caitlin's phone number. I need to have a call.
Caitlin was not there on Bangalore's event.
Really? She didn't go to India?
Yeah, she did. She got sick in Hyderabad, so we didn't. So she went back to Mumbai with my parents, and then we didn't. She didn't go to
She
Bangalore.
got sick. Pani Puri?
With yeah, like Hyder. So the hotel we lived, I think she ended up eating something. I'm guessing like her, she was just not, again, like I can eat anything and I would be okay. I think Americans immunity is not meant for Indian street food yet. Or at
But
least Caitlin's.
tell Caitlin I'm taking a huge tres leches cake for my family. I'm going to see them today.
Oh, right. Oh,
My brother's,
nice, nice.
yeah. Not just one of those small pieces, but a huge one.
Huge one. That's awesome. They probably like you will probably start charging commissions like, yeah, every time
No,
everyone who comes.
my brothers paid for my law school, man, and they would not take the money. If I tried to return the money, they go, "This was not a loan. This was when you
Yeah,
wipe
yeah, yeah.
a loan."
Yeah,
Typical
right.
Indian families.
Yep. Yep. Okay, can I start making money on YouTube if I'm on H1B?
I hate
Yeah,
to tell
this
you
this
that. No, I think it's a violation of status. But I had a very interesting conversation with a young man. Um,
Mm.
I think it was last week, early last week. So he had a very interesting situation. He works for a company. Somebody contacted him on LinkedIn saying, "Can you introduce me to your company?" Ended up investing several $1 million in the company and wanted to give him $65,000 as finder's fees. So he's on
Oh, wow.
H1B. He's on
Okay.
H1B. He says, "Abhi main
Yeah.
kya karu?" I said, "Okay, first of all, tell the investor to give the money to your company and they can give it to you as bonus. That's perfectly legal."
Bonus. Oh,
Okay.
right. Yeah.
Number
Yeah.
one. Number two, um, it is a violation of your status, but status violation, well, maybe, I don't even know if it is because you didn't do anything. You just introduced people. It's
Yeah.
almost like getting paid for nothing. Wouldn't you
Right.
like that? Huh, Yudi?
I would
Okay.
love that. I would love that. Yes.
So I said, even if it's a status violation, you can always step outside USA and come back with a visa stamp, and the violation is corrected. You can never lie about it, but as long as you don't lie about having violated status, the status violation itself is a minor problem. I
Mm,
still advise you to stay away from it.
yeah. And I think this was another question asked to me a lot during my India event, and I told them all to come to this session. That they can do like this freelancing on F1 or YouTube or something. What if they put their bank account of their grandmother who's in India and there's no paper trail of like getting money?
My favorite answer to that is, it is like a bank robber who has not yet been caught. Okay.
Yeah.
So the question is, just because I'm not caught, am I legal? And the answer is no, you'll have a problem the day you get caught.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. So anyway, cool. Okay. Can I stop my initial OPT with employer who is not
Yeah,
e-verified? They are offering unpaid internship.
absolutely, Shasa. Make sure it's at least 20 hours each week. The fact that they are not e-verified is not a problem for first year OPT.
Oh,
And even
stop.
if you don't get paid, it's not a problem.
I was like, what does he mean by stop my initial? But you read it even
So
further.
time stops.
90 days of unemployed
Well,
period.
I'll tell you something. The
Huh.
smartest thing you can do is, if you get stuck with this situation, just go talk to your professors. They have tons
Hmm.
of research things available. They can
Yes.
give you
Yes.
something and you'll be
Yeah.
fine. You know,
Yeah. Yeah. Muzan is the main villain in Demon Slayer anime. So that's the name of that person you asked, like, who? What does Muzan mean?
so she's the villain. Are Baba.
In a anime character, yeah. Yeah. All right. EB2 National Interest Waiver. Can I apply self petition or through attorney? I studied in data analyst. What is the success rate of
Well,
EB?
see, look, under Virginia rules of ethics, every time I tell you our success rate is 100%, uh, I also have to tell you that doesn't mean your case will be successful. Okay. Uh,
Mm.
there's always a chance a case can fail. But a good example, let's say data analysis. All right. Now this is good teachable moment. I am a data analyst. I say I want national interest waiver.
Mm.
First government says, do you have a master's degree? Yes. Okay, you are qualified. If not master's degree, the other things you can have. Okay, so you have a master's degree. Second, does your work inherently help the US? Yes, because if I'm working in AI, in spotting patterns, machine learning, Um, these are technologies that USCIS needs. The USA needs. Third question, भाई साहब आप क्या कर रहे हो? Okay, this is good for us, but what are you doing beyond creating wealth for your company or for your city or for your state? What is the
Hmm.
national footprint of your effort?
Hmm.
That is where
Yeah.
people lose cases. So I gave several examples. One was the wearable devices for
Right.
medical diagnostics, where he is working for one company, but the device was being worn in all 49 states by 300,000 people. Last week, we won a case in cybersecurity. Before that, we won a case for a college professor. Before that, a lab instructor who was teaching design
Hmm.
things. Okay. So there is, again, you get a sense of what is going to work, what is not, and it could be wrong. So data
Yeah.
analysis, basically possible, but what is the national impact of your work? That is the question.
Hmm. Interesting. Yeah. Okay. What can be the effects of F1 incoming international students if Trump wins the election? This was another very common question asked to me during my events, that can Trump like change, eliminate OPT or H1B and all of this if he gets elected?
Well, they'll get sued. I always tell people in 33 years of my practice, I sued the government maybe 5 times, 6 times at the most. In 1 year for Trump, we sued 15 times. We won 14 cases. 15th, we knew we were going to lose. Going in, we knew. So almost 100% success because they make such defective legal decisions.
Hmm.
You can't
Hmm.
change a lot of things. You can change some of them, but you can't change a lot of things.
Yeah. Yeah.
It takes Congress to do that.
Right. Can I make Instagram reel in United States on F1 visa? Is this
ये
legal
बारी
or illegal?
बारी चले गए can I do TikTok? No, can I do what will be next? Facebook
TikTok, TikTok,
videos? नहीं, TikTok तो
TikTok,
हो गया. Can I
uh,
do 1 minute videos on YouTube? What is that called?
shorts, YouTube
It's all the
shorts.
same problem, man. It's all
Yeah,
the same problem.
but like I guess they could do it as a hobby, but not like I
Yeah,
mean,
making reels is not a problem. Getting paid for it could be an issue. तो उसको monetize मत करो तो you're okay.
yeah, yeah. Okay. So I got my H1B lottery picked by my employer is not that great, and but I have another job offer which is better and one of my dream companies. Do you recommend me to go to other company and miss this H1B? Will it affect my further H1B lotteries?
Well, is this the R Ronak or somebody else? This looks like another
I
Ronak Shah.
Yeah, it looks like different because he doesn't have the logo.
He doesn't have his picture. It wasn't a logo, yeah.
All right, sorry. Yeah. I mean, that's what I meant. Yeah.
So, Ronak ji, we've been talking about that since this morning, early this morning. Um, if you join the employer, stick around for a couple of pay periods, then you can change employers. So, if I were you, I would take the H1B and go with the nasty employer and keep looking for jobs.
Hmm. Okay. The problem is employer B wants me to join in June only. Can't wait for October. Can we not transfer the H1B lottery and employer B files for H1B?
Both can, yeah, that you can. If you have, so you are one person who got selected by 3 companies. All 3 companies can file for you. 3 companies applied for your lottery this year.
But correct, yeah. But in this case, like employer B hasn't filed for it. He wants to transfer the selection of that
I
lottery
think,
to employer
yeah, you,
B.
you can't transfer selection. I think
Can we not
no, you
transfer the
can't transfer
H1B?
H1B lottery. Thanks, Yuri. I didn't notice
Yeah.
that. I thought he was talking about something else.
Yeah. But I think what you are saying is also like, yeah, if 3 employers filed for it,
Yeah,
then he can pick
join
whichever he
anyone.
wants. Uh,
वैसे जैसे द्रौपदी का स्वयंवर था ना, you get to choose.
yeah, yes, yeah. Right. If an international student become JD in the USA, then how can he get
Yeah,
H1B or
yeah,
PR?
yeah, yeah. Absolutely. Sangeeta साहब, it is किहड़ी कहानी है? People do it all the time. So we have plenty of people who were with us, came on F1, then H1B, then green card. Some of them are still with us. Some of them moved on. So yeah, absolutely. I know so many
Sorry,
lawyers.
what is JD? Is it judicial.
Juris doctor, not judge. JD is the degree like MBBS, MD.
Acha, he said attorney, so that's why I was thinking like something
Yeah, JD,
judicial.
Juris doctor. That's the law degree, no, in US. Like in
Oh,
India, we
acha.
have LLB. In USA, we have JD, which is the
Okay.
first professional degree.
Got it. Got it. Nice. Okay. Can you summarize what you currently know about changing employers after you are picked on the H1B lottery?
Yeah, okay, we did that already, but we'll do it again. Very short answer. Make sure you are with them at least a couple of pay periods, then change. That's reasonably safe.
Nice. Okay. Now I'm sure there's going to be more question on that.
कोई बात नहीं.
uh, all right, bro. I can't find slots for the visa. My classes starts in August. Also, what are the visa chances in terms of bachelors?
So
Second question.
if you're a serious student, why not, Muzan? You should be able to. And aren't they expediting for those who have a date coming up? Other than that, then the only way would be to postpone your semester, your start date.
Hmm.
You have to
Yeah.
contact the school, talk to the DSO. The DSO might even be able to give you a letter that you can send to the consulate
Hmm.
to
Yeah.
expedite your case. Yeah,
Yeah.
this sucks. This is
Ah,
so
mm,
awful.
yeah.
Uh,
But like I mean I thought like this problem was only during the COVID. Now it feels like COVID is gone. It's still
it's,
like finding a slot is still an issue.
it's your country, dude. 1.4 billion of us.
Right. Right. But like I didn't have this issue. I guess
I,
that
I
means
never
just
did
that.
it.
Yeah. Yeah.
During my time, I applied. I went for F1 the next day. It
Mm,
was that quick.
mm, mm. Okay. I am currently laid off and considering switching to tourist visa, which typically takes over 6 months in change of status. Can I apply for F1 visa while waiting for tourist visa change of status?
You can apply, but you may or may not get it. Kaushik, go to our website, immigration.com. Look at the very top ribbon where it says Rajiv's blog. Go to my blog, and I have an entry on how to convert to B1, B2. Also, look at the frequently asked questions on our website, immigration.com. All these questions have been answered multiple times.
Hmm. Hmm. Uh,
ये
as
प्रथम
an ins-
द्वितीय कौन है? प्रथम शर्मा,
huh.
द्वितीय शर्मा, तृतीय incoming student international. How can I start making my profile towards visa as a product manager? This is your question.
No, he O1 visa though. Like
Oh, no. Acha, O1
he's
to mujhe dikha nahi. Now I see it. Now
yeah.
O1 visa is so you can do this. Go to your search engine. Um, let's call it Google for now. Google it and go USCIS policy manual. USCIS, this is for all of you students. USCIS policy manual. There you'd have on the left-hand side immigrant, non-immigrant visa
Mm,
immigrant. Go to immigrant. Under that, you will have an entry for extraordinary ability, EB1A. Okay. You will also have that will be for EB1A. For non-immigrants, you will have a non-immigrant category on the left-hand side in the index. You click on that. Yeah, let's see. So go to immigrants will give you EB1A. Click on EB1A. Immigrants.
किधर है ये? अच्छा
6 volume.
इधर
Volume 6 बाबा.
6. Okay, 6. Okay.
ये इमिग्रेंट्स है, ठीक है? इसको
हाँ.
एक तो दिखता भी नहीं है. No, no, wait, go up, go up, go. So you will go to employment-based immigrants. No, employment-based classifications. Classifications.
Classified. Okay.
इसके अंदर ना for EB1A is chapter 2, which is extraordinary ability. For EB1B is chapter 3. For EB1C is chapter 4. For national interest waiver is chapter 5, section D as in doctor. I have no life. I even remember the sections. This is very sad. Chapter 5 में जाओ. Chapter 5 में जाओ.
अच्छा सर chapter 5 में. Okay.
So scroll section A दिख रहा है ना ऊपर. Scroll down to section D. D as in doctor.
Surviving relatives.
नीचे आ जा बाबा.
अच्छा okay.
Section
Sorry.
D. ये B गया.
हाँ हाँ हाँ. Okay, there it
ये
is.
आ गया ना? हाँ, national interest waiver of job offer. That's the NIW category. अच्छा, अभी let's go to the left again. Let's show them
Left,
the O1A कहाँ पे है. नहीं नहीं, लेफ्ट पे जाओ, नॉन इमिग्रेंट्स में जाओ.
non-immigrants. Okay.
ठीक है. अभी इसके अंदर लेट्स सी, देखो वो एल
Oh,
है, ओ है नीचे, या ये
M.
O1 है. दैट्स इट. इसको एक्सप्लोर दिस एरिया.
And
इसके अंदर यू
is
हैव
it
इंफॉर्मेशन. यू आर लुकिंग फॉर O1A एज इन एप्पल.
okay? So should I like eligibility for O classification?
Yeah, there are all these. There are also on the
अच्छा
side
अच्छा
there are
हाँ हाँ.
appendices also. Appendices भी देख लो.
Interesting. Okay, this is good.
Yeah, yeah. अच्छा, इनको एक वेबसाइट और दिखा दो. यूडी, last time also we showed it to people.
Hmm.
Show them studyinthestates.gov. It's
Sorry.
study in the states, one word, .gov. One of the best websites you will ever see. इस पे चले जाओ. This is government website. This tells
Hmm.
you what kind of options do you have as a student. Well, how does the school fill out your paperwork? So this is for you as the student, for the DSO. So you know what the DSO is doing with your information. And
Hmm.
three, it is also for the employer who wants to hire students.
Hmm. Nice. Okay. Yes.
And then, of course, our website, immigration.com, is extremely helpful. I like to believe. I think so.
It is. It is. Yes, I've
So,
said it many times.
दिखा
Yes.
दो इनको वो. चलो कोई बात बाद में कर लेंगे. कोई ऐसा
Yeah.
नहीं.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
You can find it immigration.com. Yeah, I can't make it any easier.
I think it is the best domain. There we go. And I think when he's referring to Rajiv's blog, so this is
Yeah, that's my blog. That has all
uh,
the information,
yeah.
different type of things. Whatever people, I have to actually write something. I've somebody on LinkedIn
And
contacted me. She had a question. I said, you know what, I'll just write an entry for you.
yeah, see, I've already done OPD travel search before.
Yeah, you do, and it's a we had implemented a faceted search. अगर right side पे देखो ना, तो it tells you
Hmm.
which content type you are doing a search in.
Hmm.
Go back one, back arrow one. So when you ran the search on the right hand side, it gave you the content type. That's the faceted
Ah,
search. किस
okay,
क्रम में
nice.
ढूंढना चाहते हो आप इस सर्च को?
Nice.
तो actually
Okay.
pretty good search engine.
Yeah, yeah. For those of you who are asking about all the travel, this is a good uh
You
yeah,
can.
there's a mind map too. So cool. Okay. Nice. How much time do we have?
Hmm. Oh, we have 20 more minutes. अरे 20 मिनट में तो हम लोग किला फतह कर सकते हैं.
Right. Okay. We answered this question already earlier. Ronak. Okay. Looks like he was the same Ronak. I just asked differently. Okay. My question is: I have non-related bachelor's degree, non-STEM, from what my fall 2024 entrance MS degree will be. STEM. Okay. This.
Yeah. So
mm,
let me give you an example. Let's say I have a BCom, okay, from India. But now I am doing a master's degree in information systems. Is that a
mm,
problem for my H1B? No.
mm, mm. Okay. What are the advantages of working full-time cybersecurity job in the state government?
अब मैं फंसा हूँ यार. I have a case in which we've taken the case.
Hmm.
Thought we'll be able to make the case, but now this young lady is not able to get enough support from her employer. She's in cybersecurity, two jobs. One, she is supplying secure platform to federal government through the state government.
Hmm.
Okay,
Hmm.
so we were hoping to create an angle because think about it, networks are contiguous. अगर एक worm हम कैलिफोर्निया में अपलोड करते हैं, it goes through the whole country, it doesn't stay in one place, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So we were going to argue something like that because then we would have this other problem. भाई सवेरे जो भी बंदा शेव करके ऑफिस जाता है कुछ तो करता ही है. What are you doing that is more than other people? Okay.
Hmm.
So remember one thing, in NIW, your personal qualifications are not necessarily that important. What is important is where you are, what you are doing.
Hmm. Hmm.
Almost
Hmm.
everybody that we have obtained successfully, except one or two cases last week, where people were exceptionally qualified. By the way, if you want to know what is the use of an NIW, why should you even think about it? Google my name, Rajiv with an I. Rajiv, Rajiv
Mm.
S. Khanna, Economic Times. The very first article on Economic Times that shows up is, I am telling you why you should be interested. I think that's the topic. Why you should be interested in national interest waivers. There are
Mm.
several advantages. You should get it done if you are eligible. For cybersecurity, just because you're working for the state government, you know what? You can send me your resume. I'll take a look at it. Make sure you
Mm.
give me your detailed job description. And my email is help@immigration.com. Help@immigration.com.
Cool. Okay. Thank you for applying. I have one more question. Why does student get deport from US airport even if he came legally?
So,
Mm.
Kalpeshji, every time you enter the US, you are asking to be examined again. They can look at your entire history all over again. This is true for all non immigrants and even for green card holders who are outside for more than 6 months.
Mm. 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 Okay. Right. What do you think, Rajiv ji? How many must have applied for H1B this year? Do you think next year too, the chances of getting it will be good too? These consultancies have always have a way to fraud.
Abhi, un log ne, they have cut them off. And you give me Bengali name, Rajiv. Uh,
Rajiv
actually,
ji.
Bengali is a very sweet.
Yes.
I
Yeah.
think it's a very pretty language. Anyhow,
Yeah.
so Rajiv Saab, it's difficult for them to, for any consultancy to game the system. By, earlier they could do it because if they did multiple filings,
Hmm.
now they can't do it. I think your chances would be the same as this year, maybe even better.
Hmm. Can we earn from YouTube and Instagram on H4EAD?
Oh yeah, yeah. H4EAD पे तो आप कुछ भी कर सकते हो, Pallavi.
Such a weird
Yeah,
loophole,
yeah.
but
It's a
such
weird thing, right? H1B is
a
restrained. H4B
right,
can do anything. The H4 can do anything. She
right.
can start her business. She can do something in
Yeah,
not all anything to do with her education. She can
right.
sit at home and watch IPL or whatever. Saas Bhi Kabhi Bahu Thi, whatever was.
Do
Okay.
you watch IPL? What's your favorite team?
I like to watch replays because I can fast forward.
हाँ मतलब मैं भी highlights. I only watch highlights
Yeah,
unless it's a
even
CSK
highlight में
or
भी I want to fast forward. अगर अगर
uh,
3 wicket पे चल रहा है and India is bowling, I will fast forward to the fourth wicket, then rewind a little.
oh yeah.
Time
But
नहीं
IPL में कौन सा team? Like, do you have a favorite team?
I'll watch
No.
anything. कोई भी
अच्छा.
कोई भी गेंद बल्ले से खेल रहा है, even gully cricket I'll watch.
Hmm. Okay. Cool. Do you think day one CPT is a good option, or is a tourist visa preferable after being laid off from an H1B?
See,
Hmm.
that's a tough question to answer, Patel Saab. If you are a serious student, go back to school. If it enhances your career, go back to school. But if you're just looking for a job, I think B1, B2 might be the better option.
Hmm. Hmm. I'm on OPT. Will that be any problem in future if any query comes from IRS for tax purposes? I feel like I'm missing a question over
Yeah,
here.
it may be that, you know what happens. So there is a component of your taxes that you don't have to pay as a
Oh,
student,
right.
as an
Okay.
OPT.
Medicare
So
and
yeah, you better talk to IRS. They usually have very good documentation. They have pamphlets on this. Talk to them or talk to a CPA. Immigration law wise, I don't really care, but IRS may care.
hmm. Hmm. Okay, I think I realized I had another call which I
तो
forgot
मेरे
about it.
पास टाइम है, आपके पास टाइम नहीं है सर, आप बहुत बिजी हो.
Not that, not like that. But we will to next time we will have more time. So yeah, let's do this again next week 6:30. But thank you Rajiv ji for doing this, and thank you everybody. We'll do this again. All right.
Take care
Thanks
guys.
everyone.
Bye.
Bye.